Well, the problem. Well, hello everybody. I'm Ed
Good morning,
Parcaut.
Monday. I'm Mike Kelly still.
Yeah, a lot of information over the weekend. I don't know if you know this, but I did the radio on Friday.
Yeah, you sat in for Michael Douglas.
Yeah, Mike Douglas for 2
Oh,
hours.
Mike Douglas.
Yeah,
It's
Mike
not,
Douglas,
okay.
and not the actor either.
And not the guy that had his own talk show on one of the major networks back 162 years
have
ago.
no idea who you're talking about.
Well, the Mike Douglas show. Come on, he had the Rolling Stones on there. He had the Beatles on there. He had
I feel a little washed out.
people
today.
that have already been very, very popular actors and died already. He had
Really?
a lot of people on.
Well, that's good. That means he's a good talk show host, I guess.
No, just meant he was the first one.
Well, I always liked Johnny Carson, especially when he had
Yeah.
to sit up on a platform above his guests to
Yep.
prove how great he was.
How great he was. No, Mike Douglas was a daytime talk show.
Oh.
So
kind of like
Phil Donahue.
Yeah, or the other ones that
Merv Griffin.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I'm old.
Yeah, you just got rid of our one person.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of things going on. And the reason I'm bringing up Friday is I talked about, because it just came out. This has been in the works for a while. We've heard about it, but we really didn't know. Well, May 1st, the Biden administration is having Fannie and Freddie do some adjustments to their loan level pricing adjustments. And a lot of people go, what are you talking about? I think I have a little screen to explain it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Share screen, share window.
Here it is.
There it is.
Share
All right. So this is just an example. So when you do a rate, say you have a rate of 6.5%. This is don't worry about the base price. Let me get over here. Don't worry about the base price. Just look at, these are the adjustments they're talking about. So if your FICO score from 740 to 759, it costs you 7/8 to get that purchase at 20% down.
Right.
Second home, and I only put this on here because there's the cost that we have to absorb when it's a second home or investment property.
That's crazy.
Now there's going to be a 1% in here just for the fact of, hey, you have been paying your bills on time forever, and you now get the benefit to help somebody else get a better rate by you give them 1%.
Yeah. That makes a lot of freaking sense.
Well, of course it does. It's our administration. So the problem going forward, that's May 1st. So if we've been waiting for May 10th, so this is coming and complicating for frustrating for clients, and it's going to be. So if we've been waiting for May 10th to come so you can get a way better rate, you're going to have to lock before that because you don't want a worse rate just in case it doesn't get any better.
Right.
And then
a lot of people pay an extra point.
Well, yeah, it's not a point in the interest rate,
right?
But it's a point in cost that we have to absorb in the interest rate. And depending on where you are in that interest rate, because on certain eighths, this is going to get confusing, but because half the people in the industry don't understand, but at certain eighths, you get more money, or a quarter, you get less money, because depending on the pools they're in, you could have to go from a 7 example, let's just say 6% to a 6.375 to absorb that cost.
And explain to people who don't know what a point is and what it's based on.
It's 1% of the loan amount.
Right.
So if you have $100,000, it's $1,000.
Right.
So if you most average $500,000, and you're going to benefit you're a little dragon today, just like I am.
Yeah, you're going to benefit those who don't take their bills seriously and pay them on time and have lower FICO scores for one reason or another. The poor me's in the world, who are, put the back of their hand on their forehead and say, oh, life's so tough. Well, how the hell do we do it?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone else was saying how, I've been paying my bills on time, and now my brother-in-law, who's been living in his basement and haven't been paying his bills on time, gets a better rate than me.
Right.
Yeah.
The benefit of me being a upstanding and conscious person paying their bills on time. It's infuriating. I was working out the other day and alongside another local lender, and I said, May 1st. And she goes, I know. Is it crazy? Should we just let our bills go to the wayside a little bit and not really care?
I don't know.
It's not going to benefit us.
No.
It'll benefit us if we don't.
Well, this is just like during the boom, we had Fannie and Freddie, the guy running it. It's like, you know what? We're going to charge extra 0.5% for the fact of being able to refinance with us. And that's what they did. They made extra money for a long time. And so rates weren't that, and that's the same thing. This is what's happening here. And it's just horrible. Why are we helping people who don't? Oh, it's not my fault. The pen didn't write right on the check and it didn't go out. It's the check's fault.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
The stupidity. It's like a kid going, you know, my test, I didn't do bad on my test. It was my pencil.
My pencil. It was
My
my
pencil
pencil's
did.
fault.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
so Fannie and Freddie, I've heard two people say two different things, that they don't really take any advice from the current administration, but they do, don't they?
They're owned by the administration now.
Right.
So what happened is they're in receivership
Right.
since 2006,
And
7, 8, whenever, and they went in receivership because of the fact that they were going to fail potentially, and they were a private institutions, both of them,
Right.
and they were taken over by the government, and they were supposed to get them out of receivership years ago, but the administration's been making billions and billions of dollars off of them. So why would you want to let them go?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so so they don't take advice, but this is, I think, a mandated thing. You have to do it. They told them to do it, and they're going to do it. But the problem is, again, they think it's going to help somebody when in reality, those people are still going to go FHA.
Right.
Potentially. I mean, I haven't run the numbers, but that cost is so costly from somebody with a 620 FICO score for a conventional. And because not only do you have the cost of that rate, but then you also have mortgage insurance. That mortgage, so has anybody adjusted the mortgage insurance? And I don't think people realize, if you get from a 740 FICO score to a 640 FICO score, it's 17 times more likely to go in foreclosure.
Yeah, and with FHA, even though you put 20% down or more, you still are going to have the MIP. Was that your phone?
Yeah, my phone's still connected.
You still have the monthly insurance premium, right?
Yeah, well, yeah,
with
correct.
an FHA for the life of the loan.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got a 620 FICO score, you're not putting 20% down unless something happened to you. You follow me?
I do.
I mean, I've had those situations where, because they had a foreclosure or a short sell, they went that way. But that doesn't mean that, it just depends. Right. Yeah. And you have to run the numbers to see what makes sense for somebody.
Sure.
And a lot of times it makes more sense to do what you just said, go FHA until they fix their FICO score, even if they put 20% down with the mortgage insurance, and then eventually refinance and get out of it. But even if you put that amount of anything like 10% or more down on FHA, you only have a mortgage insurance for 11 years.
Right.
And then it falls off.
But
I'm just saying, but you have to look at the numbers. Is it cheaper? Is it better? What are you doing?
The 1 point will probably be cheaper in the long run.
Well, yeah, if you got a 740 FICO score, 720 FICO score, whatever, it still will be cheaper to stay conventional for you.
Yeah.
That's what they know.
Yeah, even though you get a $520,000 loan, it's going to cost you $5,200 extra dollars to do that loan, right?
Well, it's going to cost you more in a payment, right? Because you're going to have to adjust that or bring that money in,
right?
And you don't want to bring that extra in, so you're going to adjust the rate, and now you're going to pay an extra $50 to, depending on the size of the loan, $50 to $250 a month.
So this is the same administration that it's screaming and crying about affordability, and we need to make housing affordable. But let's screw the guy that and gal that takes their payments seriously.
Well, what people don't realize is 75% of the people out there have a 740, above 700 FICO score.
Yeah.
There's only a quarter of people have below.
Right.
It's complete opposite as 2004 through 6, where it was a reverse opposite. 3/4 of the people had a low FICO score, and only a quarter had a high FICO score. That's the problem. They understand that the 75% is going to pay all into this, and only a little bit of people are going to get to use it. So what's going on with that money? It's another money grab is what this is.
Exactly.
This is for this administration to be able to use it towards ESG programs. That's equity stuff, which I don't agree with.
Right.
And they now also, if you read, they're going to trying to make your IRAs where you can't invest in oil companies.
What?
You have to invest in green companies for your retirement only.
So you're going to tell me where I can put my money?
That's what's coming. That's what they're working on.
Yeah.
They've already done it to a certain point on the IRAs they're trying to face, and that's a problem. They also want to get rid of all the plants that do electricity that are still on some type of gas or whatever to produce it. There's like 3,382 producing companies in the United States that do electricity and use gas, natural gas, and they want to fine them, and they want to do this. They want to get them off of it. It's like, where are we going to get this electricity from? we're all good with long-term moving over. Why are you trying to shove this down in 2 years and make us go where we're going? The rest of the world's like, you guys are so stupid.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. And we emit the least amount of pollutants. The United States does. It just comes down to one more thing. And, like we said, after the last vote, people just don't hurt enough. And well, this administration is going to make sure that enough people are going to hurt enough to where they're going to finally get out and vote. And maybe even some of those D-dogs that are starting to make a little bit more money and feeling the pinch of the government, they're going to start voting in a different direction. Just like you had senators and congresswomen and people who were leaving the party because of their too extreme stances.
Well, look at this. I mean, Democrats want to protect women.
No.
They'll vote for,
not one Democrat voted to protect the women.
No, none.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yep.
Zero.
And that's go with their master plan.
No, I mean, the issue is why is, okay, if according to Spock, it's of the many, not of the one, but now we're all worried about the one.
Right.
And I'm not just talking one, but you understand what I'm getting at. It's about the many, not just the one. And that's the problem. They want to make it about just these one people. Oh, we can't offend them. But when you don't offend them, you offend everybody else. Why is that okay?
Well, and the LLP changes is just another
LLPA.
Fine. LLPA. I know what the A stands for.
Loan level
those changes.
Price adjustment.
It's just another vote grab. It's just I need to buy some more votes. Wake up.
Yeah.
Look what's really going on. Because even though you're going to say, oh, the rich are being hurt. No, everybody's being hurt.
This has nothing to do with the rich.
Yeah.
The rich, if you're rich, you're not in this world.
You're not in this world.
You pay cash, or you use your stocks. You put money in your stocks, and you borrow against them. You don't use this loan. No, they don't. It only goes up to a max $1 million. That's nothing. That's the average house.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of lay people think, oh, it's just the rich being grabbed. Good for America finally taxing the rich and getting them.
Dude, the rich pay the most.
Yeah. Well, people don't understand that.
I'm sorry. We're not supposed to be.
I know.
Marsha's like, as soon as I walk out of the room, she turns off the TV because in the morning I watch it to see what we're going on so I can talk about it. I'm like, what? She goes, I just hate listening to this because you go, that's so fucking stupid.
Well, it is. It is. And, but if you don't listen to it, if you just bury your head in the sand and you don't listen to it, you don't know what's going to come.
Right.
And I'm not saying Marsha's burying her head in the sand. I understand the frustration of watching the news. In fact, I watch very little anymore. I read a lot, but I watch very little because I'm so tired of, I think news really started to go in the wrong direction, probably back in the early 90s when they started, the broadcasters would say, some would say, and they would give their fucking opinion. Some would say, nobody said.
Well, that's because they
wanted to give their opinion, and that was a way for them to be able to do it by some would say. Bullshit. Nobody said that.
Some would say that it's time.
It's time to get off because I'm starting to get pissed.
No, but it was like Friday, and this is when I do the live shows for Mike Douglas.
Right.
I don't like it anymore because I have to research a lot of stuff. And the more I listened and read and stuff to get ready for the show, the more pissed off I became.
Yeah.
And that was the problem because this LLPA, the vote for the women, against women, all the stuff that I had to talk about that I didn't really want to talk about. You find out all this information, and you're going, this is ridiculous.
And
can I just finish one last thing? And the worst part is I watched the 5 on Friday, right? They always have a Democrat on there, and it's funny. They're always like, well, no, I don't see it that way. And I'm like, where are you getting these people from? It's right there. They lied about them. I told Marsha, I said, Trump actually did get the election stole from him because of these different things. I'm not talking voting machines or whatever, but what they did about the Biden laptop, all that stuff. And I'm not
burying things.
Right. Yeah. And they did. And if you go back and you can see it now, and so I can see why he was so pissed off and others people were pissed off. I'm not saying go run and get on the Capitol, but this time you guys really need to open your eyes when you're voting this time.
Yep. Well,
I just think in the United States, we're so, as a people, most of us are in the middle. We trust our government to a certain point. We don't want to think that people are going to take advantage of us. They're going to do this, and and that's what they feed on. So be careful out there. And that's the same with scammers. Scammers feed on us because we're trusting. Think about that. How much stuff gets sent to me, and I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's me, and I see that.
Yeah.
That means 9 other people falling for it.
Yeah. There's a problem with your Netflix account. We need to update your security features. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Gosh, your bill didn't, your automatic payment didn't go through. Please go here. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
After I just got the text saying, thanks so much for your payment.
Just be careful out there in this next election. Please really look at stuff and vote properly, please.
Don't let the media wag the dog.
And don't vote just because you're a certain party. Really vote. I mean, a lot of people are just so upset. You know, I'm pretty much no party anymore because there's really, I don't agree with everything any party does, but I'm more in the middle. And I think 90% of us are. There's just the 5% on each side. I could say 98%, 1% on each side. But that's just what my take on it. I know we kind of got political, but you have to understand we're so messed up in the housing market,
right?
Because of political stuff.
So how can you not be involved politically in one way or another if you're really trying to pursue the American dream?
Right.
And here's the thing. Let me say what I say every week or every 3 days or every goddamn day. We don't have any inventory.
Right. Yeah.
Prices are going up.
Yeah.
Prices will not crash.
Well, this is going to help with affordable housing. You can't get affordable housing if you can't build housing.
Yeah. That's the only way you handle the affordable housing issue is more supply.
Right.
Period. End of conversation.
I walked out of O'Brien's.
Oh, did you get the dipshit with sign this?
His acid wash, ripped up jeans. I'm like, I haven't seen acid wash jeans since the 90s.
Yeah, but those were brand new back in the 90s.
Well, he's like, do you want a sign for the get? I'm like thinking, you have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah,
there's no way you're getting rid of this rent control that's already in place, and you don't want any more because it's just going to affect housing even more. Look in New York. That's why it's such a pain. So
it's a minimum wage job for them, going out there and getting signatures. Some do it because they believe in the cause, but most of them are getting paid to go get signatures. And then people, Jesus Christ, read what they're having you sign. Read what they're wanting you to sign. The last rent control issue raised rents, did the absolute opposite of what they wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's put people in higher paying rent or higher rents. Pay attention.
And the reason is because they have to raise them every time your lease comes due in order to stay compliant.
Right.
That's what the unintentional consequences happen when somebody puts a bill together, puts it in, has no idea about the industry, doesn't work in the industry. And that's the problem with these politicians. And I'm going to get off my soapbox in a second, but I'm tired of them making stuff for our industry and they have no freaking clue what's going on in our industry. These career politicians are the worst. We need to have term limits, and I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
By the way, there's Case Schiller comes out tomorrow, new home sales. Wednesday, durable good orders. We don't care about mortgage apps. They're going to be down. Thursday, GDP, initial jobless claims, pending home sales. Friday, PCE. And that's going to be, these are some things that are coming out that move the market, and we're hoping it moves it the right way because this is going to move it the wrong way.
Yep. That's our government at work for us.
Yeah. Anyway, so everybody make it a great day. Try to. We're sorry we were so negative today, but it's Monday, and
you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm very happy today. I'm in a good mood. But this kind of stuff, we need more people that are paying attention. So make it a great day, just like you said.
Yeah.
Make it a great day. We love you all. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
Go out and buy a home.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye.